Hello, hello, everyone. Happy 2021. This is my first video of 2021. Those of you who are joining on replay, I just want to say welcome. I'm glad to have you here. My name is Christy Varner, and I am a CPA and growth and profitability advisor who loves helping people learn about their numbers and how it can help you in your business. Today, I'm going to be talking about 5 steps that you can take to achieve your goals in 2021. So if you are just popping on, I just wanted to welcome you. I love that people are already popping on. Tell me where you're from, where you're popping in. If you're coming on replay later, tell me, do hashtag replay. If you would enable StreamYard, up at the top, there's a link to enable StreamYard. That's where I stream from. Sorry, not enough coffee yet. Then it will let me see your name, because otherwise it just shows me Facebook user. So I see a couple people have already said hello. So thank you so much for doing that and for coming on. I'm so glad to have you guys here today. So fun. I am streaming live this morning on my Facebook page, my business page, also on my new YouTube channel, Christy Varner, and here in our Facebook group, Small Business Finance Simplified. If you guys are not in the Facebook group yet, would love for you to come over and join. It's just a community of entrepreneurs and small business owners. I share finance and accounting tips and strategies because that's what I know. And my goal with our new community is that we would all share our own expertise so that we can grow together, because we're all small business owners and that's what it's all about, right? Life is better connected. And I am just absolutely thrilled. Oh, Sacramento, California. Love that. I'm so ready to travel again, you guys. Are you ready to travel? Anybody else feeling like, oh, just want to be able to get on a plane or go somewhere? I miss travel so much. Anyway, I want to share with you guys some tips today about achieving your goals in 2021. And I'm going to talk specifically today from a business standpoint, but let me just tell you that these tips you can apply to your regular life. You can teach them to your children. You can just use them wherever. But we're going to talk. I'm going to share in analogies. A lot of you are new to my group and new to seeing me teach. So let me just tell you that there's a longer story there, but funny little story, but I am an accidental accountant, which just means I never had a plan to become an accountant, but I always had a plan to love on people and share and serve. And I realized that I understood numbers, and that numbers are kind of like the hidden secret to success. And so I have adopted that. But because this is not my love, if you will say, I usually just talk in simple words and use analogies. So I hope that will be super helpful to you. So today, as we discuss 5 steps to your victory of achieving your goals in 2021, I'm going to talk about becoming a runner. So do I have any runners here? Will you tell me if you are a runner? Would love to hear my runners, and those who are like, no way, thank you. I had a friend I used to work with that said, if you see me running, then someone's chasing me. I thought that was hilarious. So when we talk about goals, you want to set a goal, obviously. Okay. So let's just say that my goal is that I want to be a runner. Okay, so step 1 is to set a goal, and it needs to be set your goal. So if you're writing this down, write down, set your goal. And we're going to talk about 2 important things about the setting your goal. So the first is that your goal be a SMART goal. And if you've been in the business world a while, you may have heard this or you might not have. So SMART is an acronym, and it stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time dated. Okay, it's not time dated, it's time something. But anyway, that there's a time. Okay, so can you see how I want to be a runner would not fit that? Because that's not specific or measurable. It may be achievable, and it's probably relevant to any of our lives, but it's not, oh, used to be a runner. Love that. I can't tell who you guys are. I'm sorry, I'm not greeting you by name, but StreamYard won't, if you don't do the StreamYard thing, that I don't know, but I'm still so happy you're here. So you need to change that. So in this instance, from I want to be a runner, you might say, I want to run a marathon, and it needs to be time dated. So you need to say, so we're talking about 2021 today. So you want to say, I want to run a marathon by the end of 2021. Okay. So let's now apply that down to your business. So for your business, you want to have goals that are those same categories. There's the same SMART goals. Okay. So that could be, for a lot of you, that might be a revenue goal, which is, revenue is just another word for sales, right? The sales that you generate. So that could be by volume, by the number of things that you'll sell. So the number of coaching sessions that I'm going to have had, the number of new clients, the number of dollars, right? But it has to be something that we can measure, because something generic like I'm going to be a runner is not going to work for this. So think through that. It needs to be achievable. I always tell people, like, have a push goal, right? Like a marathon, that's a big goal, right? You know, I want to walk 3 miles. Like, that's a goal, but it's not a push goal. So it needs to be achievable, like it's doable, but it's something that makes you kind of go, oh, like I'll have to work hard to get there. Because I mean, the higher you, I mean, not overshoot, but if you don't set a goal, you're not going to achieve it. And I think we would all say that we work harder towards goals that we have set. And you'll just work harder towards it. The second part of this first piece, and we are going through 5 steps, is that it needs to be your goal. So just because, you know, my daughter is a runner and she has run, I think, 2 marathons, that doesn't mean that running a marathon needs to be my goal. Okay. And it's really important that it be your goal. And I talk to my clients about this all the time in setting goals, because it takes hard work to achieve your goals. And so it's got to be something that you actually care about. Okay. It's got to be something that you actually care about and that motivates you. So for example, I had a client recently tell me that their goal for the next year was to have $250,000 in sales. And I said, okay, great. Why? Because that's what I was working on. We were working on a strategy. And she said, well, because I hit 100,000 this year, so I want to hit 250 next year. And I was like, great, why? And she basically just kept going back to, well, I hit 100 and I want to hit 250 because that's the next logical number. And I would just encourage you to stop and really think, because bigger is not always better. Bigger does bring, you know, some hassles. And so for some of you, it's not what your goal is. So please don't allow society to tell you what your goal is for your business. Your goal is something that you want to achieve, because it takes hard work to achieve your goals. If you want to run a marathon, I mean, we can all understand that it's going to take some work to run a marathon, right? So you'll give up if you're not working towards your own goal. So that is step number 1, set your goal. So it's a goal that's SMART and it's a goal that's yours. Step number 2, assess where you are today. So 2020 just ended. So for many of you, you are looking at your numbers for 2020, and this is a great time to set your goal. Would have been great a week ago. Honestly, anytime you set a goal is a good time, honestly. But this is great for timing if you happen to be watching this, currently in the first week of 2021. So you want to know where you are. So in our example of being a runner, you want to know, like, am I somebody that already can run a 10K, right? Oh, I ran a 10K, so I'm going to become a runner. I'm going to run a marathon by the end of 2021. So that plan is going to look a little bit different from somebody who's like, I'm sitting on the couch today and I've never bought a pair of tennis shoes. Right? I have no running shoes, but I'm going to run a marathon by the end of 2021. So for your business, what this means is look and assess where you are today. What is working well? What is not working well? What are some things that you can see that are going to make it hard for you to achieve that goal that you just set? Okay, because part of being this achievable thing is we have to assess where we are. If I'm going to get from where I am today to where I want to go, I have to know what things to bring with me, right? In our example of the runner, do I want to bring, my eating habits with me? Will that help me get to be a runner? Do I want to bring my sleep habits? All the things that, my work habits, like, will I be able to be a runner if I have this schedule or whatever? So in our business, that would entail, do I have enough? I love little hearts, so thank you. Do I have the right people in place? Am I spending my time right? Where am I devoting my money? So all of these things, you need to assess where you are. And I know some of you are just now starting to close out your books for 2020, and I encourage you to do that. I encourage you to clean them up well. My focus for our trainings this month is first things first, okay? So I'm going to talk all about first things, about planning for the new year. We're going to talk about, if you're just starting your business, things that you need to get going with that. We're going to talk about all sorts of different things, but today is just all about that planning. So look at your 2020 year, look at your business, and now we're going to go from where you are to where you're trying to go. So step number 2 was assess where you are today. Let me just stop. I haven't introduced myself to a lot of you. My name is Christy Varner, and I want to welcome those of you who I have not even met, and this is your first time to see a video with me, a training. Let me just say that it's my passion to cheer you on professionally and personally. I am so proud of you for being a small business owner and entrepreneur. That's what I am too. I happen to know finance and accounting tips and strategies, and I'm hoping that we have a community here where you will learn and grow in your business. You'll feel safe to ask questions, and you'll also be willing. Oh, yay, Janelle. Yes, I just saw you're starting a new business, completely different from what you thought. I'm so proud of you, girl. So, so proud of you. Cheering you on. But I am cheering you on, and I'm here for you to ask your questions. There's no dumb questions. And I also would love for you to engage in this community, answer the questions that people ask, and feel free to ask questions that aren't necessarily financial, but relate to us as entrepreneurs and small business owners and people just cheering each other on. So that's just a little bit about that. What I do for my business is I do consulting with small businesses. I've worked for 25 years as a CPA, all through all different industries, all different businesses, helping with all different projects. And I decided in 2020 that my heart was really with you guys as entrepreneurs and small business owners. So I consult. That's what I do for my business. And passionate about strategy and just helping solve problems. I don't know every answer. I'll be honest. I don't know every answer. Google is my friend. It helps me a lot. My colleagues help me a lot. But I've seen a lot of people and a lot of clients through the years. So I just want to share what I've learned. So let's move on back. Now we're at step 3. So step 3 is called Idea Soup. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's called Idea Soup. I learned this tip from Rachel Hollis, who I took business coaching from a couple of years ago, and she is fabulous, so fabulous as a business coach. But so Idea Soup, for this, you need a blank piece of paper, or you need a whiteboard, or if you're me, you need your iPad, which is where I write down everything. So what you're going to do is you're going to start thinking, from where I am today to where I want to go, what will it take? And this is not an evaluative process. This is a process where you literally brain dump. You write down every single thing that you can think of. It might be a bad idea. It might be a good idea. It might be a giant idea. It might be a small idea, whatever that is. So you should be filling your paper with all sorts of ideas. I love doing this with clients. It's very exciting because it affirms for you how much you know. It allows, the more you start thinking through it, the more you're like, oh, and I could do this. Oh, and I could do that. Oh, and I could do this, right? Like it gets exciting because you're thinking about moving towards that goal. So, if you were going to run your marathon, you might be like, oh, I could start setting my alarm for 5 a.m. Oh, I could carve out time during the middle of the day. Oh, I could buy new running shoes. Oh, I could tell my partner that I was going to be doing this. Oh, I could join a running club. Can you see how the more that I start, and I'm just like, you guys, I'm just brainstorming with you right here, right now, like nothing fancy. This is not fancy. This is not hard. You just make a list and it's called Idea Soup. I also encourage you, if you have accountability partners, if you have a mastermind group, if you have your tribe of business owners, this is a great thing to do with other people. It's a great give and take if you're business owners too, because someone else may throw ideas into your idea soup that you wouldn't have thought of. And they don't even have to be necessarily people who, are in your exact same industry. I help people with this kind of thing all the time. And so I'm not an expert in every industry by any stretch of the imagination, but business is business, and you can get the greatest ideas from other people. So I encourage you to do that with your idea soup, and hang on to that piece of paper because you will be glad to see that later. So after you finish your idea soup, you want to go back and say, what are the 3 to 5 steps that I would need to take to get from where I am to where I'm trying to go? And the easiest way to do that, because from that big giant piece of paper of all those things, we're going to just pick out 3 to 5 that are going to really propel you from today to the end of 2021. The easiest way to do that, and what Rachel teaches, is moving backwards. I know that sounds crazy, but we're going to reverse engineer this, and reverse engineering really works. So you're going to move from the end of 2021, from what your goal is at the end of 2021, and you go, on this piece of paper, what needs to happen? What would I accomplish that would be the thing that I would accomplish just before I ran a marathon, before I was capable of running a marathon? Okay, so for instance, you might say like run a half marathon, right? Like that would be the step I would need to take in order to get to run a marathon. I would need to run a half marathon. So there are going to be all different things. It just really depends. Like, this is where I get so excited, you guys. I love strategy, and I'm passionate about helping people. So it's a little bit hard to talk so generally to you because you will know this best for your own business. But so you need to figure out, like, what is that step before the last one before reaching my goal? What is it? Is it going to be, if you are, starting a brand new business and you say, I want to get, $50,000 in revenue this year. Well, the last thing that would happen maybe before you would get to your $50,000 in revenue would be that you would have to have, I don't know. I mean, a big group of people, a big following that you were selling to. Right. So, because you're not going to get there without that big group of people that, consistently buy from you. I don't know. Like I said, it's hard to just spitball sort of this without talking to you guys, but your business. And if you don't, then, get with someone that can help you with the strategy, talk it through with a business advisor, talk it through with a friend. Literally, it's not as hard as it's probably sounding. So then you're going to back up from that. You're going to do that. So then what's the goal what's the step right before that? What's the step right before that? And it's really important that you put a date with each of these steps because you're going to work harder towards them. So remember, our 2021 goal was I'm going to run a marathon. So that date is going to be 12/31/21 or whatever date. Like, you really, realistically, if you were doing the marathon, you need to find the marathon and register for it now. So say it was 12/17/21. So you would put that in. So then you're going to set these dates for these mile markers. We're moving from the end of 2021 back to today, which is January 7th, 2021 right now. And you're going to put in dates for each of these 3 to 5 mile markers moving backwards. So for instance, in your business, if you're just starting out, it may be, you can't sell without an audience. So you may need to grow your email list or grow your connections in LinkedIn if you're doing a coaching or business to business. If you're doing business to consumer, it may be you need to create an Etsy page, create a website, get a social media person, hire a VA. These are all steps that should be in your idea soup. And what you have to figure out is what are the 3 to 5 that are the biggest. And not to say that you won't do these other ones, but they're kind of the little ones that go along the way. Does that make sense so far? I hope so. If you have questions, you guys just type in your questions. I love seeing you on here. But this is the part that you really are going to spend a lot of time on this part, just mapping it out. But then once you decide, you guys, there's not perfection. Done is better than perfect. Please do not let this hang you up. Pick things and just move. You'll be able to tweak this as you go, and you'll be able to see. So the next thing, so step 3 was idea soup. Step 4 of 5. Step 4 is what's it going to take? What resources? Now that I've mapped out my steps, like say that you said, I need to get an Etsy page, right? So what's it going to take? It's going to take obviously signing up for Etsy. It's going to take, if you're brand new, it's going to take setting yourself up with bank accounts and getting an EIN number. If you're bigger, some of you have been in business, a day. Some of you have been in business for a decade. So it's going to take different things. It's going to take systems and processes. Is it going to take a coach to help you? Do you have a bookkeeping system? Do you have the right equipment? Do you have computers? Do you have the right interaction with different people that you need to have in order to achieve your goals? So these are the kind of things that you need to assess. What's it going to take? You guys, we are not meant to succeed on our own. I forever am saying life is better connected. And so I want to remind you, of course, the door rings. Okay, you guys, sorry, this is just real life. And I'm just sitting in my living room. And it's true. It's just coffee talk with Christy. So, what's it going to take? It's going to take a tribe, but it's also going to take systems and processes and probably some equipment and maybe some subscriptions and a bookkeeping, at the very least, a bookkeeping plan, right? Excel or QuickBooks Online, which I highly recommend. So that is step 4. And then the last step is a commitment to consistency. Step 5 is a commitment to consistency. So the nice thing about this is once you have this all mapped out and you've time dated it, you don't need to worry about being a marathon runner anymore. Okay, you guys, we set that for 12-17. What you need to worry about is the step 1. Yes, you're going to keep in mind that you want to be a marathon runner. We're always going to keep our end goal in mind. It's what's going to keep us motivated, because remember, that was our goal, not somebody else's goal, but our own goal. So that does motivate us. However, step 5 is committing to yourself, because you deserve this. You set this goal for a reason. You did this work of assessing where you were, coming up with your idea soup, and then figuring out what the right steps were along the way. You invested in your time and your resources to get what it takes to get there. So now it's time to commit. And it's time to be consistent. So I don't know what that looks like for you. I don't know if it looks like telling somebody, if it looks like writing it in your planner every day, if you start your day with prayer or vision or meditation. Whatever that takes, you need to commit. And then let me just say a couple more things about that. Number 1, you are not going to hit your goals. Okay. I hate to be like oh gosh, that's mean, but you are not going to hit your goals every time every day. Life does not move from here to there just like this, right? You guys, we know this. It's like this. 2020 has so proven that for us, right? So be okay with that. Expect that. Be willing to tweak and to change things as you go, but you still want to keep moving forward. I love the expression, do the next right thing. So every day, just what's the thing that's going to propel me the closest today to that next mile marker on our roadmap to success. We're not trying to get, all the way to the end. I don't want to go run a marathon today. I want to take my first step to be able to run a 5K, right? Because that was probably somewhere in that first mile marker for the person running a marathon, and the things that they needed along the way were maybe a running coach and a running club and tennis shoes and Couch to 5K app, right? So those were their things, and you don't need to worry about being a marathon runner, and you need to not beat yourself up if you have a day that you didn't run or that it was hard. You need to just keep moving forward. And of course, because I am a numbers person, let me just tell you, I encourage you to track your numbers. We set a SMART goal that was specific and measurable. Okay. So you need to measure your success, measure that you're moving. So look at your financial numbers. Your numbers are gold, you guys. I know they're not sexy and exciting for a lot of you, but they are. And you will come back to me and be like, wow, that is sexy and exciting, Christy, because they are telling me what I need to know to start achieving that number. So I encourage you to look back at your numbers and check on how you're doing. Check on how you're doing on your followers or your Etsy store or, your coaching business, your LinkedIn, engagement. All of these things, they all contribute to your success. And just being honest with yourself, marking off every day that you ran, that you were supposed to run, if you're trying to run a marathon, and you look back and you go, oh, okay, wow, I have not achieved the goal that I wanted to achieve because I'm not being consistent in doing that. You're just owning up to yourself. Remember, this is no one else's goal. This is your own goal. So that's what matters. And that's how you're going to get there. I see it all the time, you guys. Success is not a matter of just luck. And it's not a matter of just hard work. And I know you as small business owners and entrepreneurs are working really hard, but you deserve to achieve your goals, and a strategy is going to help you get there. So today I'm just wrapping this up. I just wanted to remind you your 5 steps to success. Set a SMART goal that is your goal. Number 2, decide, assess where you are today. Look back at where you are today so that you know how to get from where you are to where you're trying to go. Number 3, idea soup. Come up with your ideas of how you'll get there. Set the 3 to 5 things that will most propel you from where you are to where you want to go, and put dates with them. Number 4, figure out what it will take, what resources, systems, processes, coaching, money that it will take to get from where you are today to where you want to go. And number 5, stay consistent, commit to consistency and accountability, and track how you're doing. So that's all that I have for you today. If this has been valuable, I would love to know. If you have questions, please post them in the comments. I will go back to look at the comments and answer your questions. And I would love for you to invite other people to join our group. It's so fun. You guys, I can't believe we're about to hit 200 people in the group. How fun is that? So that's just my passion, is to help you. So I would love for you to invite any entrepreneurs and small business owners that you know of that could get some value from this, because it's my goal to serve you. So have a great day, you guys. I will be back again live next Thursday at 10 a.m. Central with another training. This month is all about first things first. If you have training topics that you would like me to cover, please shoot me a DM or just post it in the group. Until next time, you guys, thank you so much. It's been great to be here with you today. Bye-bye.